transformation of humanity. Aquarius is humanity, Pluto transformation. We're looking at a total transformation of humanity. We're standing at the cusp of it, right? Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. And people fighting it already. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, things is about to get better. Nah, why? What are you talking about? Like, really, like, let's take a look at this. I remember what December felt like. I remember what my timeline looked like. On January 1st, the war eased up. It just did. And then they dragged the people to court. And it's like, you don't see the same atrocities. And I don't know if it's a media thing. Because I'm like, damn, did they get the people food yet? Because ain't nobody saying nothing. Right? It's just they reporting it different, so you don't see the timeline anymore. But you can see those energy shift and change. Feel me? I don't even know what's going on in Ukraine no more. Where? Exactly. So, shout out to our good brother, Dr. Be Serious, right? Wow. One of the most preeminent things that you brought to this community that has transformed the people who have utilized it is
tell the people how they can get your product on.
Hey, One Love and Wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love, and I have a business where I incorporate the spirit into everything that I make. It's called Love+Art equals Wellness. I include the inalienable laws. I have a wellness practice. I'm a wellness coach. I also have a podcast called Heart Happy Hour. And so I put you on there last week, as well as Mr. Witness, and was able to utilize the information that you guys have given me over the years in such a wonderful way. I think it also adds, and I make jewelry off of some of your recordings. Very interesting. Thank you.
You told me how to get it?
You can look me up on all the social media platforms. Love+Art equals Wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love, One Love and Wellness. And this is my second time at ATL, so I appreciate you guys allowing me to have this kind of platform. It's a beautiful environment. It's an awesome place to have this kind of energy for the family.
Say your website one more time.
Love+Art equals Wellness. And enjoy that crown, that black magic crown. I call you Rich Magic now, with a K.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Royal Highness.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and thank you, Precious Mother Love.
Yes,
One
yes.
love.
Let's get rid of it.
Do not be the people doing nothing on March 21st or April 1st when it's going to come around.
That part.
Right? I'm like, they just letting down for other people that they see celebrating these Thanksgiving. And look, I used to be the main one. I was the main one. Right? Yeah, until my folks was like, damn, you know, they're on my timeline too. Like, shit, like, it's still family time. Like, don't forget that. Miss all this shit.
Right.
Understand that your people want to see you. You know what I'm saying? And we know that it might be this other stuff going on, but don't forget this. So I'm like, for the sake of what you're going to be looking for when you get past the threshold of, oh, my family's, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't no good because they ain't telling me this information. Well, now they don't know what I know. We all go through transformation, and some of it turns us dark. Some of us makes us have contempt.
I don't know if you guys can hear it well enough, so I'm going to go closer.
But I'm like, don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? You just got to let go of things. Like, you didn't know, better off, you know, as a result of the fact that you do know, but that don't make you better than. You know what I'm saying? You still got an obligation to go back and explain it to somebody. But to a degree, was like you can fully function in reality and acknowledge both of these situations, right? So I brought this up to explain that science found out that you exist simultaneously in 11 dimensions, right? So I can entertain January 1st being the new year. I can entertain April 1st being the new year. I can entertain the fact that the Mayan New Year is July 25th. I can entertain the fact that Rastafari New Year is September 11th.
Hashana.
Right? I was a New York City student, so I was Jewish by default because we had to participate in all of their holidays.
Holy days.
So I don't know if they was like, yeah, y'all closet Hebrew Israelites, so we just gonna drag that thing to power up our mythos, right? Or they just pulling you with them.
You remember Dick Gregory said, once if the bank closes on their day, we celebrate their holiday.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So this is the architecture of our minds. Like when I talk about these numbers and things of that nature, I'm speaking about objects. I'm not just speaking about numbers. In my mind. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about 44s, I'm speaking about objects and numbers. More so, I'm speaking about architecture. So this is what a 2D simplex, a person that lives in 2 dimensions, like you stuck in dualism, right? Black and white, right and left, good and bad, right? That's 2D. 3D, that's where the majority of the world is at. I don't know how they jumped over 4D and niggas are talking about 5D. I don't know what happened. That's a whole nother conversation. 6D, 7D, all the way to 11 dimensions we can exist in simultaneously, right? You are that powerful of a quantum computer. The science found out that you exist 11 dimensions, and we know that it's way more than that, but let's just focus on 11, right? Our brains can create multiverse-like structures unlike anything we've ever seen. And this is old information, right? These are just how some of the stuff looks. If you see down here, these are like the synapses in the brain, how memories are processed. Right down here, it's a 5 neuron click. It looks like a pentagram. You know what I'm saying? In science, there's a big difference in how our brain processes the numbers 4 and 5. This is why I don't know what happened to the 4th dimension with these 5th dimension guys. I don't know how they jumped over 4D. I'm like, 4D is deep. We just jumping over that. We just not having that conversation that we going straight to 5D, huh, y'all? So that's even how our brain operates. Our brain, there's a big difference in our brain how we process the numbers 4 and 5. So they're not processing 4, they just jump straight to 5 or what have you. So this is the tesseract. Again, when we talk about geometry, when I'm looking at the brain, when I'm looking at how things operate in this dimension, this is what 4D looks like. You live in a cube, within a cube, within a cube, within a cube, right? Things that seem like they don't have no correlation or connection to one another are always touching or just passing by one another or overlapping. This is what reality looks like to me, in my mind, when I'm thinking about reality. You feel me? This is the tesseract. This is 4D. Right? 4th dimension, a straight line is only 1 dimension, a square has 2 dimensions, a cube has 3 dimensions, time and space, right? Is a tesseract. We all exist here. It's not just me. I'm not just saying just because I identify with it. This is the quote unquote. No, we all exist in this particular reality, attempting to reconcile the relationship that we have to time and space, which is another conscious trope that it doesn't exist. We'll discuss that, right? Because it doesn't, right? It's a conundrum. Geometry of the 4th dimension of time and space, right? This is the geometry of it. Right, so Einstein came along and he kind of like helped them coin the passage of the 4th dimension. My thing is this, right? So we can just eradicate it from the door. Point, right? Let's say it's just space, right? And you get a point or a black dot. That's one thing. Once that point becomes a line, time automatically exists because now you're dealing with measurement, and that's all time is. Time is a measurement of the distance between point A and point B. That's all time is, right? Without matter, there will be no time. The minute that matter comes into play, time exists. Without matter, no time. It's just simple as that. You feel me? Here goes time in a nutshell, right? This is why I have consecrated my understanding and observation of time down into a formula. It's very, very simple for me to understand. I call it the law of 44. Because in 24 hours, it's 1,440 minutes. There goes your
1440. Mm-hmm.
With their 440 minutes is 86,400 seconds, right? And then you start cutting that in half. Now, all of this right here, we notice these
That
numbers.
1440
These
was
are
my
all of the
SAT
vibrational,
score.
high vibrational frequency numbers people keep talking about. 432, that's the heart, right? 144 or 1440, I believe that's the pineal hertz. 864, that's universal, right? And it keeps rippling into itself. 369, you feel me? You can add all of this up and it keeps adding itself into itself, right? So this concept of 44 and this relationship to 144 is this. April 4th equals 144, and the word 44 equals 144,
Mm-hmm.
right? Time equals 144. Now this is the matrix. This is taking words and reducing them to numbers. And if two words got the same number, then they're related. They have a connection, they have a magnetism and a correlation to one another.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to say, when I see 44, I see 144, because right here they both qualify one another. But when I go one step further, right?
Mm. Pardon me.
Again, we showed you on the seconds how it broke down to 86,400
That was
seconds
king
is a quote unquote a day of time, which is
The Numerovator.
1,440 minutes, right? Here it all goes right here. 44 breaks down to 144, and it breaks down to 864. So to me, it's time, right? It's time in a nutshell, but it's time exactly how I showed you through the geometry of a tesseract, a cube within a cube, right? God within itself is a cube. At least the God of the Greco-Roman society, or what they call Judaism or Christianity. Yahweh equals the number 26, right? 26 is 13 plus 13, or 4 plus 4, right? And again, so the tesseract is a four-dimensional analog of the cube. The tesseract is to the cube as the cube is to the square. You understand that? Can anybody explain that? So a square is 2D and a cube is 3D, right? So a square is to a cube and a cube is 3D, but a tesseract is 4D, right?
Mm.
So a square is a cube, but a tesseract is a cube within a cube, as you can see. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You live in a box or a square body, but we're within this building. This building is within this city is within this state within this country is within this continent is within this place. You know what I'm saying? So it's boxes upon boxes upon boxes upon boxes, and I don't know whether this shit is flat or round. My master teachers told me it's both. He said it's like a soccer ball. Flat some places and round in others. I said, that works. That works. But I always
I'll
want to be
take
the
that.
center of my reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's
George
why I
Clinton
love
said
seeing
it's a
things
spirit.
in shapes and
Yeah, George
geometries.
Clinton
So
said
I
it's
don't
a
have to
spirit.
buy into rhetoric. It's like, no, I reduce it to numbers. And when I get the number, then I go directly to the shape. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I process my reality. I'm at the center at all times of my reality. And again, as you can see, these are all the three religions, all of them are based on cubes. It's not even a conversation. Right? They're all based on cubes. The Star of David is cubed out. I mean, forget about it. It's cubed out. Right? The Kaaba, we know what that is. That's the black cube. That's Saturn within itself. You feel me? And then the cross is a cube. Just turn this side out. Anybody ever work at FedEx? Y'all have to do boxes, turn this side out. Right? That's all the box, that's all the cube is. The cross is this. crosses that you unboxed. Right? That's what it is. And in the cities, we used to grow up, we grew up around in Crown Heights. I seen it on the news the other day, we talked right there. The Lumenvich Hasidic community at 770 Eastern Parkway, they are the biggest subset of the smallest group of people that nobody knows about. Right?
They've been had tunnels, man. They've been had
Like the dude from Lord of the Rings. No, they look like the one from Harry Potter. What's the guy? Gringotts? Yeah. Yeah, the little niggas with the nut. Yeah, Gringotts. Ain't like that, Joe.
Talk that fast.
One Loving Wellness family. I'm running out of storage.
All black, right?
And the phone keeps acting up, so my apologies, many apologies. I'm gonna cut this short. I'm learning a lot, so I'm gonna sit back and
all the
learn.
way around, like the ring of Saturn with the top hat, all furry, like a furry kangaroo. You feel me? And then they would walk around with the black boxes on their head, with the inscriptions on it, doing prayer rituals all day. Right? And they would bring the chickens out there and sacrifice. In the street, they would sacrifice. When I say like a U-Haul full of turkey chickens, family. Talking like 500 of them joints.
Oh, wow.
They would sacrifice them right there in the streets and leave them there in the hood. Right? And so later on in my studies, I found out exactly what it is. That one, they absolving sins off of, they're using, because the God of the Old Testament was all about animals. Now, I didn't know this about the preacher. But every week that I do my sermon, and we go in the Old Testament, God wants burnt offerings, sin offerings, guilt offerings, and something called wave offerings. I don't know what that is. But all of it there was animal sacrifice. Right? So they picked up after that, and they do chicken sacrifices to absolve